Hey, curl friends, this is Annalise, founder of Curls on the Block. We are live with you this Friday and so excited because we have a product that will be coming out soon to help you stay curly. So, without further ado, I want to bring out our special guest, Miss Stephanie Lewis. Hello.
Hi, you. Hi, everybody. Hi, world.
Yes, this is the curly universe here.
Yeah, that's why I said hi, world. It's the only universe that matters.
So, Stephanie, this is not your first time with Curls on the Block in the interview space, and it's time for an update. I've been watching things and supporting from afar because you're way out on the East Coast, repping for BKNYC,
Mhm.
and doing your thing. And I have so many questions, but the people want to know that, they want to know what's going on with Sotro. So, you know what? Just let us know what you want to share. Introduce yourself a little bit more, like and we'll go from there because I'm ready for the updates, girl. But
Ooh, let's start with some good ones then, if that with that prep. But yes, for those of you who are new to me and new to Sotro, we are a hair care technology company, and we're building some really never before seen tools that are going to make taking care of curly hair easier, more fun, more relaxing wherever you are. And so we're launching with a 2-in-1 steamer dryer combo that folds flat and you can store under your bed or in a closet shelf. And it can open up to as high as 4 feet tall so that you can lean against it while you're watching Netflix and enjoying your whole, like hair care community, like hair care experience with your community online is what I meant to say. So it's about reclaiming that time, that wash day, like making hair care something that you look forward to instead of dreading. And in a sense, I think that the tools that exist on the market are all about trying to get our hair to behave, right? Like get it straight, like get it in a bun, cover it up. And as much as sometimes, we need that break often, I think that there are very few things out there that allow for us to, really wear our hair with pride, with ease, and do something natural that focuses on us and how we are. So that's what Sotro is all about in a nutshell. And so making a tool is really expensive. I'm not going to lie. Making something from scratch is really expensive too. But we've been really lucky. I mean, one of the best updates is that Gabrielle Union had a contest. It's called Lift as We Climb, and we were one of the 3 grand prize winners. So that was really, really, really exciting. We got to pitch to Gabrielle Union. It was really fun. And it was really great to be in a room with other people who really understood what we were building and immediately saw its impact. So that's one of the most recent and best news I got. You can't top, you got to talk to Gabrielle Union and pitch her. There's nothing better than that. So
yes, I'm screaming when I saw the post. I was like, because I was like, what is this? Okay, Gabrielle Union got Lift as We Climb. Okay, and then there was the other one that said we just won, and then so I learned two things at the same time, and it was such. I was so excited. I had to reshare it and just push out, hey, this is happening. And you hit on so many things that are going on and your experience, like, but what's your background? Because some people who we're circling back and it's an update, but just briefly, like, how did you go? You're a founder of product, and but you have more than just the Black girl experience of existing and working with your own scalp. What led you? What's that connection that makes you the expert for this particular product development?
well, thanks for the opportunity for even asking this or getting a chance to answer this question. So I own a salon in Brooklyn. It is a multi-textural salon space. We've been at this for 6 years, and so we're really lucky insofar as we can get a whole bunch of clients with all different hair types and textures to come into our space. a whole lot of concerns that we're able to help remedy. And so this tool brand comes from that knowledge of the team that I have. That's just this really phenomenal team of stylists who have been in this game for a really, really long time, and they really know their stuff. So in that sense, that's sort of the background that sort of shapes our knowledge about doing this. But there is a personal story that I think is worthwhile. And, around the COVID pandemic, for the first time ever, I was losing my hair. And it turned out that I had this form of alopecia called CCCA, and it's really prevalent. But if you don't catch it early, the alopecia can be permanent. And so one of the reasons why CCCA can get really hard to manage is, A, you're a little late to the game in catching it, and B, you don't keep up with your hair care regimen. And even though I have this incredible salon space, and even though I've got really talented stylists, we all know it's really hard sometimes to carve the time out of your week to do curly hair care. And so this tool is born out of a place where now you'll be able to take care of your hair on your own terms. If you're a night owl like me and 2 a.m. is when you want to do a steam treatment and twist out, well, now you'll be able to do it. And the goal here is to help people stay on top of a hair care regimen that makes hair damage and hair loss less likely.
Love it. And you're right. Sometimes we have like our own hair care management routine that is at hours that no stylist is available. So, or you're traveling, or you come back from traveling, you don't have the patience to wait another 2 weeks, and your hair needs something to revive. So, and maybe you got a couple heads at the house, so the bill will rack up if you are going to the salon, every couple weeks instead of maintaining it at home. And also what you said, obviously not having the capacity to manage your own, follicles, right? I can definitely say, as a new mom, woo, I'm hiding them right now, but these edges are in question. So I have lost some myself. So this, that reminded me, oh, okay, something's going on. But it's part of that journey with
Well,
a lot of
I do
hormones.
I do want to say something about that, Annalise, because I think what we're building also is really particularly useful for the new mom community, or, in either a postnatal or prenatal, even in some cases, hair care journey. Now, I see your follicles looking fine, oh my, from here, but I recognize that you will have a more intimate relationship with what your hair is used to looking.
Right.
But certainly something that a lot of new moms experience is hair loss due to hormonal shifts and, nutritional changes, and, just sort of like blood flow changes that, right, is, does require some form of like dermatological, or, some sort of like specialist overview. But a lot of the time, what can help, in addition to getting this sort of support by doctors who are seeing your hair care journey, is to be on top of a hair care routine. That includes things like steaming that can sort of make the blood in your scalp like flow better, and
Mhm.
help activate follicles that are sort of dormant. Or just being able to take care of your hair and detangle it gently, do twist outs or wash and goes more frequently, and not having to wait until A, you have time to do the whole dance, or B, to go to the salon. I mean, it's really interesting to me how, for a lot of the textured hair care community, all we're ever taught to do is manage our hair, right?
Yeah,
And even that word manage has a very loaded term, because it sounds like work. It's like, ooh,
yeah,
okay, gotta
definitely.
get the work done. And hair should be something that, or hair care rather, should be something that's like self-care, that's enjoyable. And I think that for a lot of us, we've been taught for so long that our hair is a chore. And as a new mom, the fact that you're going to get to shape the perspective of your, new baby child, young girl in the world, being able to have pride in her hair, is, I think, is also something that we are really excited to be part of the journey of. We feel like our tool will help parents better manage their, or better take care of, I'd rather use that phrase, their children's hair, and help them build pride in it.
Absolutely. So it's not just, physically taking care of yourself with, healthy eating habits, drinking water and or consuming foods that contain water, which actually will help you retain water better instead of just drinking the, 8 glasses of 8 ounces a day or whatever.
Whatever
Eh,
it is, right?
Yeah. Because, during pregnancy, I was always thirsty. And then I started keeping up with fruit and my fruit intake, and that helped me retain water better for sure. But I can recall those days of sitting up under a dryer that my mom had. She had found like an old school one that was a hooded one, and it was really frail. We had to duct tape it, but it didn't have the steamer. And we were doing all these makeshift things to get the result that a steamer would provide. And even I was so mad one time. I was like, I need that Sotro thing now because I got bamboozled. I thought that I was like, oh man, there's a portable thing here, but you got to have the blow dryer. I was like, oh, this is cheap. I wonder if Stephanie knows. I was like, oh, let me try it out before I mention it. And it was just the plastic hooding that, okay, sure, that's travel friendly, but you also got to make sure you have the attachment. It was just a lot. And I don't know where that thing is now, but it's a waste of $20. But um, I'm thinking, man, they beat her. But the reality is they didn't. And it's because it's still a gap in our needs. One of the reasons I wanted to highlight the work you're doing is because you are addressing a need in the community, and what that does is it requires studying our community in a positive way to have a positive impact and outcome that's not just monetary or capitalistic gains. That's a huge benefit and byproduct for you, but imagine having healthier hair where folks are feeling more comfortable, being able to work with and embrace their hair and be confident to manipulate it into different styles and to also just let it exist because they know it's healthy. So and I'm trying to avoid manage too, so
Right, I know, we're so used to using that
Mhm,
word, and there's
mhm.
so much of what you just said there that I can jump in on, from, the fact that we're approaching this not from the capitalistic mindset, right, but also something that really serves our community. And I know you do a lot of work with girls, not only on confidence building, but in, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The fact that we are applying all of that in what we are building, this sort of STEAM knowledge for STEAM.
This
What's
was
up
the
there?
perfect product because it's literally
And
steam friendly and
it
it's
is STEAM
steam
friendly
focused. It's
and STEAM
the
focused.
steam for our curls, steam as a career, and how you are in this industry and space of these fields that we're not represented in, whether it's the products gearing towards our needs or just the voice of representation or physical representation in these spaces to be there and give that perspective, like this community probably we probably not going to respond, but you also have the benefit of having your salon be a focus group. You are hands on, literally in the scalp to the roots. You're to the roots of beauty, and you're seeing these needs. And I love that you're not afraid as a stylist to lose your customers because you've created one tool or many, in
We
this
get that
case.
a lot. We get that a
Mhm.
lot. And a lot of salons or salon owners or other stylists who run salons will sort of tell us, like, well, won't this mean that, like, there'll be less clients coming to the salon now that you've got like the Sotro machine that exists that can pretty much replicate what we're doing? And my answer to that is, you're never going to stop going to the salon for your styling and hair care needs. I don't think that that's ever going to be, replaceable, especially, in the curly hair community that's had to rely on, having a professional that they can go to and ask questions of, and also like slay their hair. Like, that's never going to change. But much like when you go to the doctor's office and the doctor will give you a set of things that you need to do to make sure that you're on top of your health, where is that for hair
Mhm.
care?
Yeah.
Where is that for hair health? It's like, if we don't have access to these sort of tools that can help make that journey easier, or in your case, these $20 inefficient machines that are made by people who don't really understand
Yeah.
what textured hair care is about, or what our needs are, or what makes it enjoyable, then you're less likely to do it. And if you're less likely to do it, sort of the hair loss, hair damage, these are all consequences of just, not having access to the right type of tools to help you. So for us, we see this as kind of like an addendum, like something that you have that's in your back pocket when you're traveling, or when you're up at 2 a.m., or when you have a bunch of heads that you have to deal with in a day-to-day basis. You have something that's easily accessible, and then can visit the salon, I would say, a little bit more regularly when you're on top, because that's another thing. When you're on top of your hair care, you're more confident in walking to the salon space. We get a lot of clients who come through our doors that are kind of like, they carry this guilt for not having been able to take care of their hair more effectively. And so that even means that they visit the salon less, because they're kind of like a little ashamed about it. And we want to take that shame away. There's nothing to be ashamed of as it relates to our hair. We just need to be finally given the right tools to do it on our terms.
I can appreciate the doctor analogy, and I also have one that came to mind, that to folks who are like, well, they won't come to the salon if you are giving them the tools that we might be using. Well, there's a ton of restaurants out, even though we got food at home. That's all I'm gonna say. So so that's the reality. You want to still eat healthy, but you're still gonna go out to a restaurant and need that, time there, and fine dining, and
I
um
love that analogy. And what I think will be a consequence of Sotro when it comes out is that we will create, I think, a higher end salon experience that will be the sort of manifest consequence of being able to have this restaurant experience at home, so to speak. Now, I feel like salons will have to level up their game, like we've had to do over the years as our a salon owner. Our clients, our customers, I think people in general, consumers in general, want experiences that really put them at the focus. And for better or worse, I think my industry, the hair salon industry, has missed the boat on that. And so I feel like that there's something really, really amazing about being able to just elevate the game for everyone, so that now, yep, you've got the Sotro machine at home, but now you know what to expect when you go to your local salon, and what you're going to want to have happen because of the best hair care experience you've had by your own hands. So I think there's room for both. I always think there's room for both.
there is, and who's to say that a salon wouldn't actually invest and purchase your product as well? So that's not the end of it all anyway. So you will be able to provide maybe the salon and stylist grade product, that maybe the engine is better or something, or more long-term heavy duty. So that's good both ways. So I definitely would even retort with that, like, what, we get it. And I did hear, I watched an Instagram reel. A young woman was asking, would you pay $700 for your braids? And she had what they call butt length faux
I
locks.
saw that
You saw
one.
that?
I think
And
I
then
saw
she
that
did
one.
another one. She did another one. She went back, my friend. She flew back, and this time paid 900. But the experience was the point. She wanted her hair done, and they were a 24-hour braiding suite. And she booked this time her own room, in comparison to first time being kind of out in the general pop. But this time she got her own TV. They gave her some, I think, prosecco maybe, and some of the comments were clowning the Cheez-Its, but they were also some
I like cheese. Who
refreshments.
doesn't like cheese and some prosecco? They
Yeah, well, I think they meant, hey, you pay $1,000, you better get some steak and filet mignon. That's what I
But she
think.
had her own room, and she
Yep.
had her own TV, and she probably had the kind of experience that I think is missing, especially
Yes.
from the textured hair community.
Yes.
So
And she
I
had two
applaud her.
people braiding, and it took fewer hours, of course, with more people. And it was private. There wasn't someone taking phone calls trying to book the next person. Four people weren't waiting with their caps on and not no running to the wash, to set someone else's hair. So I think those are the experiences, like to your point, people are ready for, and the investment is there. Am I paying $1,000? Probably not yet, because no, but amen to her, because it's also
I know.
a
I
2 month
like that that
investment.
braiding studio exists, that they can deliver that. I don't know if I've got $900 braiding money in my pocket, but I love that it's available. And it doesn't mean I may not have $900 braiding
Yeah.
money in my pocket. You
She
know,
also went at 2 a.m. Like those were her preferences. And so she was able to find it, but she also had to fly there. So she had probably spent well over $1,500 total for that experience. And some people will do that.
that is another that brings up another thing that we also get as a criticism, right? Which is, well, how much is this machine going to cost eventually when this is ready? And it's like, we're like, yeah, we're looking at a retail of about 895, and it's like 895. Then when I do the math, or do the math for you, technically we're supposed to be on top of a hair care regimen weekly, 2 weeks at most. So let's assume that it's 2 weeks. And let's assume that your hair care regimen costs you about $95, which is usually the range, $75 to $95. If that's what you're doing every 2 weeks, you've just spent around $2,000 just going to the salon. And I think that that is, part of why, when you want something that is a higher end experience, it's going to cost more because you're getting exactly what it is that you paid for. I mean, yes, we could have made a cheaper machine. We could have just made it like the $20 parts, but we knew that that wasn't going to be able to replicate the exact salon experience that we were going for. And so, much like this braiding studio that's open 24 hours a day, you want your hair braided at 3 a.m. It means that, you've got your rest of your day back. You've got two people dedicated. You want your hair health goals met in speed, in comfort, in ease. It's going to cost a lot of money to make the kind of parts or the kind of machine that can do that. And so, we know, like, there have been many days I as well have had to use our prototype, because I'm like, yo, I need, when can Sotro exist? And only, we have the answers to that question. But it's like, we know that there are people who want to invest in a new type of hair care experience, and we'll deliver on that.
And as you know, once you've launched, there's going to be opportunity to get manufacturing down to scale and even more reasonable for folks, or accessible for folks who maybe are like, that's like a reach right now. But we're not going to put no price tags on nothing yet, but we're going to allow for the industry to provide what you need and get it to the homes. So, and like you said, some tools, we're such a dispose of quickly society, we forget the value of quality product as well. So we're used to combs breaking in our hair, we're used to certain things, and people are shocked when, hey, a real durable brush and a set possibly could be $20. Like, that's because it's durable and it's gonna help you maintain, and maybe maintain is the better word than manage. So maintaining your hair is the key, and it has to be healthy in order to do that. But there's some other, the sticker price is always shocking, because it's a mismatch when you're actually taking care. There's sometimes that upfront investment, but the long-term results are what you're desiring, right? So it's a worthwhile investment at that. Is there anything, like, how can people find out more about your product and the comings, goings, any efforts to support? I know you had a campaign where we previously were talking, a couple of years ago now, but what's on the horizon that you can actually share?
Oh, well, a few things. And I think one of the major help is, just following us on social media and letting us know that you want this tool. I think that that's really something that can sort of get us to being able to finance the manufacturing. I mean, this is a capital intensive product. We are building something that's never been seen before. And a lot of the financiers that we're approaching are excited as well, but we don't have a lot of metrics to show, okay, we know that the community needs this. So follow us, ask us questions, tell us what you want this tool to do. Anything will be something that will be super, super useful for us. I think the second thing that's on the horizon for us is that we've, of course, applied to a bunch of accelerators and competitions. Obviously, right off the back of, the Flawless by Gabrielle Union win is like really sort of helping us validate like that we know that this is a game changer. But, certainly I think the second important thing is, as we are building this, if there are opportunities to engage with those accelerators, so either vote for us or let us know that, like, this is something that you want and need, that is also going to be a game changer for us. And I think that because this thing takes time, right? This is not something, especially because we want it to be long lasting, especially because we also agree that the consumer mentality that we have in our culture is about use it and then throw it away, especially because we want to sort of make something that it's environmentally conscious or done in an environmentally conscious way, especially because we want you to have it forever and travel with it with ease and not have to worry about if it's banged or bruised up, that it still works. Like, these things do cost money and they take time to do right. And so I guess the final piece of this for us is, as we're along this journey, I know I always need encouragement to remind myself that we're on the up and up. So I would probably say that if there's anything that you feel, if you're just having a bad hair day and you just wish that there was a steamer that existed out there, DM us, let us know that. I mean, that's sort of the stuff that sort of helps push us through. I know this all sounds super cheesy, but it does help.
It's not cheesy. Whoops, I got excited myself. It's not cheesy, but it's just necessary. I think that, showing community support and everything. And, I feel like there's some locations you might be possibly appearing at that, you might get some support and some of the focus group responses that, could really substantiate the need and what your pitches are highlighting.
Right. We're due to, well, we'll definitely be in Colorado. That's for sure. That is
What?
without question this July.
Yes, that's
So
awesome.
can't wait to be able to engage with the community and also showcase our prototype right in face so people can engage with it and use it and let us know what they think. And we can't wait. We really can't wait for July. It's exciting.
Yes, man, this is also breaking news, folks. So I'm super excited to add you to the experience that so many Coloradans are actually in need of. We are in a semi-arid environment, and we need to keep moisture in our follicles and locks, and it is in dire need of that support. We need quality dryers as well. So this combo is going to be perfect. I'm really excited. So even if you hadn't had a prototype, we could have had this great conversation about it. And we have this space that's during the Colorado Black Arts Festival. It's July 7th through 9th. And so having you part of that experience is going to be amazing. And whether it's virtual engagement or physically present, folks are going to benefit from knowing, and you're going to continue to inspire other people. They're going to be like, man, I didn't even think of this as a possibility at home, like, oh, okay, I can do this at home too. Here's how, and here's some recommended recipes, because we all have possibly done something like I did with the bag steamer and it didn't work, or put the bag over your head with the mayonnaise. So we
That's
need some
also,
help.
I'm really looking forward to that too, getting to hear from everyone and knowing what recipes work and what don't, which
Yeah.
ones don't rather, and just having a good time. I can't wait. Like,
Yes, I am super excited. And you know what? I can't wait to connect you with a few of the stylists who I know specialize in the curly maintenance in Colorado. And there's a few who are well known, and they're always booked and busy. And so I think this again hits that need. It's like you can't even get time because those they love us. They're like we were booked, and so I know they highlight how they promote steaming in their salons, and I'm like, I've never actually experienced an actual steamer at all, so I'm like, it's time.
Oh, yes.
So I'm excited for that.
Oh, then this we can't wait.
Yay.
Yay.
I was like, when you shared that you're able to come out, I'm like, oh
And
yes.
we're gonna roll deep too. We're gonna have our team with us as well.
Oh man,
We're
this is
to be there to answer questions and
fantastic. And so we're going to be in, let me make sure everyone knows. So it's the Colorado Black Arts Festival 37th year. And the reason this is a big year for them, one of the co-founders passed recently in April, and it's going to be a year of recognition for his vision. And it's actually the reinstatement of the Natural Hair Care and Beauty Pavilion. So that's what I'm curating, and that's why I'm like, hey, I know the people are out here who we got to get y'all to come to Colorado because there's a lot of needs. We got a lot of curls and a lot of needs, and having demos and things like that is so necessary because whew, we just feel like we're in the square, a box state.
and I think that for us is what probably motivated us to work on a tool like this, because not everybody gets to live in a dense center where, like in Brooklyn, there's a hair salon at every block, right?
And
like so,
humidity.
and humidity. That's the key. I can't control the humidity bit. And so that part is really exciting. And we hear from, that's also why we're really excited about Colorado, because we really get to hear from a lot of people in states that are not California or New York or Florida, right? Or Texas, I guess let's throw that in there too.
Yes.
Who are like, hey,
yes, the crows thrive in Texas, honey, in Georgia.
Indeed, in Georgia too, of course. It's like, hey, where is our version of this that can exist just for us when, we can't, have the same access you do. And we're saying, yep, that's why we're here. I just wanted to create a system that would make it easier for anybody, anywhere. And I mean anywhere, to be able to have a really high-end hair care experience. And, my co-founder and the rest of my team is really, really, really dedicated to making this a reality. So we've got the right team and we're on our way.
That's all we need to hear, honey. So one of the cool things that I'm, in addition to knowing this, I'm like, great, with the reinstatement of the Natural Hair Care Pavilion, having space to make those connections. I make it with, well, I hope that, my youth participants in Camp Curly and all the programming I do make the connection with STEAM and beauty and hair. But there's also art, right? And so that A is important too, because our hair is art. I saw a beautiful quote. It's our hair is and like our jewels. I'm slaughtering it, but anyway, this gentleman is an artist, and his quote of his picture was, "Our hair is like artifacts, like jewels and accessories." I'm like, yes, but it is not take offable. You can't.
It is not take offable, and also, to his statement, which is phenomenal. Why is it that so much of our lives are dedicated to hiding this crown jewel, right? Or, getting it to behave, whatever that means, or, just taking away the crown jewelness of it, which is its curls and it's, all that sort of stuff. So we just want to reclaim a little bit back that natural hair gorgeousness that exists, and make it just easier for you to rock your natural hair whenever and wherever you want to.
Absolutely. I had one last question about kind of the STEAM connection, and of course it's escaping me as soon as I'm ready to ask it.
Well, you did say something about art as well, and
Yeah.
I don't know if this is where you were going to go with it, but another thing that we hear a lot is, wow, like this looks really nice. Like this tool looks super sleek. And, we're really lucky to have a very talented team of industrial designers and engineers as well, who recognize that there is an design aspect of the science process that makes people like want to use a thing. And I think that for hair care, especially for curly care, a lot of the stuff that we have at our disposal is kind of ugly. There's not any other way to say it, or something that doesn't really take into account like how we relax, how we enjoy. So we really thought really hard of building the kind of tool that also is nice to look at, because we know that if you want to look at something, you want to use it. And that was our thinking.
The aesthetics of things do matter, and especially as social media is really visual media, it's really that, and visual arts is so important. That's why there is a huge connection between, to me, the reinstatement of the natural hair care and beauty pavilion, because we like to see it, honey. But I just recalled another component that a lot of people are sometimes confused about when it comes to maintaining hair. And even like with Curls in a Block, the Curly Commandments, it says use less heat. But if you could explain briefly the difference between direct and indirect heat, and how this would actually benefit us, I would love for that to be a huge takeaway, and support why, hey, it's important to know this, and help how this instrument actually helps the health of your hair.
So, especially as it relates to heat, and steam, there's a specific reason why heat is very important, but the right amount of heat and the right temperature. So, in the case of steam, it's dewy heat. And what that does is that our hair strands are surrounded by a cuticle layer, and that cuticle layer either swells, which most people say rise, but it actually swells, or seals based on how much moisture we have in the environment. Water helps it swell, but when you're washing, it's such a very crude experience that it could kind of like swell and close your cuticle layers really roughly. The best thing about steam is it does this very gentle swell, so that the conditioners and the mask that you want in your hair get to be deposited into the hair's cortex, which gets connected to the hair follicle, which helps your hair grow. And so when you are dealing with heat, it's important to deal with gentle heat that's infused with moisture, not just hot air, not frying your hair, and even in drying, to make sure that the temperature is also not super, super hot, or is some mixture of a cool down process and a heat process, so that your hair is not fried. Both steaming and drying, when done with the right amount of heat, the right temperature of heat, and also if there's moisture in that heat, can really make the difference between a good hair care routine. So heat isn't bad. You just need to know how to manage it.
Thank you. Heat is not bad. It's just managing it and having the right amount and the right type. Let's be real. So I appreciate that explanation a lot. I definitely want to take that and clip it and add it to the archive and content library for folks who are, not necessarily experts yet on maintaining their hair. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It has been an honor to catch back up and circle back on the status of things. Obviously I took I took a break, and as Nicki Minaj, I'm back. She said, I took a break. I did the mommy thing. I did the wifey thing, and now I'm back. So we're here, bringing things full circle, and creating another circle too. So we're going to bring you to Colorado, and have you in person. I can't wait to meet you, and to also check out this product, and get some more eyes on it, and conversation up, because we do know that's going to definitely help push it. And as we know, the trademarking process, we talked about that stuff. We talked about all that in a previous video. So I'll make sure to share those things as well again. and just make sure folks know how to support you, going to getsotro.com, and definitely supporting when you have different campaigns going on. I think a really good challenge would be for folks to, I don't know, talk about how a steamer would be helpful right now. It would,
Really?
and the benefit, because I know your hair wouldn't feel brittle. It wouldn't feel a certain way, that wiry texture that indicates something's missing. Maybe you've had the wrong heat or too, or protein overload. I hear that a lot too.
That's a
So,
big deal.
we, get from scalp to the strand. We really need this steamer. Let's go.
Well,
Let's
thank
go, Sotro. Let's
Yeah, let's
go.
go,
From
Sotro.
the scout to the steamer, let's go, Sotro. I'm just giving
Hey,
these
this is
things.
a really good. I love that.
This
That
is
might have
why
to
I'm
be. I might
here.
need to borrow that. I
Hey,
really like that one.
it's for free. You're coming to Colorado, it's for free. And I'll put that in. Look, from the scout to
Okay,
the strand.
copying it right now.
We need that steam. Get Sotro.
Chef's kiss. Well
Hey.
done.
This is it. So, and with that, I'm going to wish everyone a great weekend and Memorial Day festivities, and encourage everyone, of course, to stay curly. Take care.
Bye, everyone.